Welcome to Loving God and Loving Life. We're in Hebrews chapter 7, where we find the theme of Jesus is a priest like Melchizedek, and that salvation comes through the intercession of Christ. This book again and again is comparing Christ to everything in the Old Testament, and the writers come upon this difficulty. Well, if Jesus fulfilled everything in the Old Testament, well, the priests in the Old Testament had to come from a certain tribe. Jesus came from the tribe of Jesus obviously was born a Jew, but he came from the tribe of Judah. Well, the priests weren't from the tribe of Judah, so Jesus couldn't be a priest. And here the author is comparing, he's going back a little bit farther in the Old Testament, showing that the first one that was mentioned as a priest was a man by the name of Melchizedek, who was the priest to Abraham, and he's comparing Christ to Melchizedek, saying, no, this is the Old Testament picture of priesthood, and this is how Jesus Christ fulfilled that. And then he gives us this interesting verse in verse 18. He says, yes, the old requirement about the priesthood was set aside. He's saying absolutely, Jesus set aside that need for priests because it was weak and useless. He kind of gets right to the point there. It was just weak and useless. The function, Jesus has fulfilled that. And what used to be weak and useless now is better. He says in verse 19, for the law never made anything perfect, but now we have confidence in a better hope through which we draw near to God. He's saying now, yes, Jesus is our priest. Jesus is our priest. And we have a better priest and a better hope. Just the phrases that he used, if you'll notice those phrases. One was weak and useless, and the other one is a better hope through which we draw near to God. Let me ask you really quickly, simply, is your faith, is your spiritual life, is it weak and useless, or is it a hope? It provides a hope. Even when you don't have perfect faith, you just have this hope that you just have this hope that God is going to work things out for you, that Jesus Christ is going to come through for you. It's a better hope. Friends, our faith, if you have real faith in the real God, you just have a hope that can't die. It is anything but weak and useless. It works. It brings energy to you every single day. It is anything but weak and useless. It is by far the most applicable detail in your life. He's literally your strength every day. You're communicating with him throughout the day. Why? Because he's strengthening you and helping you through everything. Talk about applicable. Well, he's comparing that to an Old Testament priesthood where once a year they would come and a priest would perform a duty they probably didn't even fully comprehend or understand it. Don't let your faith, don't let your walk with God become something, a religious thing that's weak and useless. No, a real faith recognizes that God is my strength. God is my helper. Jesus Christ has come to practically help me through every detail of life. That's the real role of a priest, is to help me. Help me. The Old Testament priest would help them with their sacrifices. Jesus helps me with everything. And he's anything but weak and useless. He's my helper through every detail. Jesus, we love you. Thank you. You are our priest, and we bless you. God, today, send us one person today to share your love with. My friends, never forget that loving God truly is the only way to love your life.